Your top stories this evening, sponsored by Courts, bringing value home. Oil tanker illegally flying Guyana's flag seized by U.S. authorities. WALTON-DESIR urges sober leadership amid rising Venezuela-US tensions. Despite EU report, private sector commission says it found no evidence of abuse of state resources in 2025 elections. W.I.N ready to take Speaker of Parliament to court over delay in election of opposition leader. And in sport, brand new KFC-sponsored pavilion at the Ministry of Education ground commissioned. HGP Nightly News begins now. Good evening to our viewers here in Guyana and online. I'm Travis Chase with the Thursday, December 11 edition of the HGP Nightly News. Here's what you need to know this evening. An oil tanker which allegedly left Venezuela and was seized in international waters by the United States military was found to be illegally flying Guyana's flag. Authorities say the vessel was not a Guyanese registered vessel. Marvin Cato opens our broadcast with this developing story.
The Maritime Administration, MARAD, in a statement released on Wednesday, said it has, quote-unquote, observed the proliferation and unacceptable use of the Guyana's flag by vessels that are not registered in Guyana. The Maritime Agency informed that the U.S. government communicated to MARAD, quote-unquote, that they encountered the motor tanker Skipper, IMO number 9304667, in international waters. It was falsely flying the Guyana flag, as it is not registered in Guyana. MARAD, in its statement, reminded it will continue, quote-unquote, to reach out to and work with international partners and other maritime agencies to identify, pursue, and take firm action against any unauthorized use of the Guyana flag. The Skipper, according to U.S. President Donald Trump, was the largest crude tanker ever seized by American authorities. However, Venezuelan authorities called the seizure of the vessel piracy. Venezuela has since denounced and condemned what to them constitutes a blatant theft and an act of international piracy. The Nicolas Maduro administration fired back, saying there is now mounting evidence that the Trump administration's goal is to take control of Venezuela's oil that belong exclusively to the Venezuelan people. The government called on all Venezuelans to stand firm in defense of the homeland and urged the international community to reject the U.S. vandalistic, illegal, and unprecedented aggression that seeks to normalize itself as a tool of pressure and plunder. It was reported in the international media that Washington had imposed sanctions on the tanker when it was called the Odessa for its illegal involvement in Iranian oil trading. The Skipper is reported to have left Venezuela's main oil port of Jose between December 4 and 5 after loading about 1.1 million barrels of Venezuela's crude. The U.S. has a large military buildup in the region as part of its fight against the illegal drug trade in this hemisphere. The Maduro government believes that is a smokescreen since, in their view, the U.S. is actively trying to effect a regime change. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, opposition member of parliament Amanda WALTON-DESIR is warning that Guyana must prepare for the worst, urging national leaders to exercise sober judgment as tensions in Venezuela escalate and edge closer to a potential conflict. Tiana Cole is on this story.
Amid rising tensions in neighboring Venezuela, following reports that the U.S. government has been intercepting illegal vessels and most recently seizing an oil tanker transporting sanctioned oil to Cuba, opposition member of parliament and leader of the Forward Guyana, Amanda WALTON-DESIR, on Thursday, urged Guyana's leadership to remain sober and temperate. She warned that any escalation towards a war in Venezuela would have serious implications for Guyana, stating that lives will never be the same.
War breaks out in Venezuela. Immediately, you're going to have migrant flows increasing. Imagine 300,000 of them just coming over the border to add to the 100,000 that we have already. And because it's a war, you're not at liberty to turn them away because they're now refugees. And so based on international convention, you have a duty to provide shelter and safe harbor for them.
WALTON-DESIR further explained that such an influx would place enormous pressure on Guyana's social systems. She cautioned that the country's healthcare and education sectors could become overwhelmed and that the government would be required to divert critical resources to meet international humanitarian obligations.
It means that money should have been coming to improve the lives of Guyanese will now have to be put in that direction.
She added that CARICOM and its regional bodies are already in a difficult position, struggling to navigate these unfolding developments while falling short of the mandate for true regional integration.
It is going to be a challenging time.
Tiana Ko reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
The Private Sector Commission has delivered growing praise for the government and the Guyana Elections Commission in its 2025 elections report, directly contradicting major concerns raised by reputable international observer missions. Here's that story. The Private Sector Commission's assessment, presented by its chairman, Captain Jerry Gavaya Jr., sharply diverges from the European Union Election Observer Mission, which flagged what it called serious misuse of state resources by the governing PPPC in the lead-up to the polls. Gavaya Jr., whose father serves as the country's national security advisor, insisted that the PSC saw no evidence of state resources being abused for political advantage.
Claims circulating in public domain concerning the voters list, ballot secrecy, and undue influence were largely political rhetoric. The PSC observation found no evidence to support these claims. The fact that the leader of the contesting party, We Invest in Nationhood, or WIN, contested the elections under U.S. sanctions, which were imposed long before his involvement in politics and were grounded in investigations spanning multiple U.S. and Guyanese administrations, in the view of the private sector, had no particular bearing on the democratic rights of the individual concerned.
He said the commission concluded the elections were peaceful, credible, and transparent, and commended both GCOM and the administration for its conduct.
The PSC concludes that the September 1, 2025 elections were conducted in a peaceful, credible, and transparent manner. The final results, as declared by the Guyana Elections Commission, reflect the will of the Guyanese electorate.
The PSC chair defended the body's findings, saying its domestic observation efforts were among the largest in its history, with 150 trained observers spread across 7 regions on Elections Day.
Ensuring continuous national situational awareness. With support from the PSC member businesses and business support organizations across the country, the mission constituted the largest and most comprehensive private sector-led observer group ever deployed in Guyana.
But the EU's report tells a different story. European observers warned that the advantages of incumbency were stretched far beyond normal boundaries, creating what they described as an election campaign fought on an uneven playing field. Their report highlights that immediately after President Efren Ali announced the election date on September 1, the government fast-tracked and publicized a wave of new public projects, hospitals, schools, roads, and bridges, while simultaneously rolling out social support programs that were repeatedly tied to the PPPC campaign messaging. The EU concluded that state media and government-run social media platforms were used to amplify the party's political narrative, further erasing the distinction between government functions and campaign activities. The PSC, however, maintains that none of these actions amounted to state resource abuse in its view, setting up a rare and striking split between domestic and international observers. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. Stay with us, you're watching the HGP Nightly News.
I'm sorry, I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Welcome to SNL Electrical Inc., where Lighton's and electrical needs are met with expertise and style. From the latest in electrical lamps to durable cables, circuit breakers, panels, we have it all. Illuminate your space with our elegant chandeliers, stunning crystal lights, and versatile pole lights. Looking to upgrade your comfort? Explore top-of-the-line AC units and our diverse selections of stylish styles. Visit us at 170-180 Thomas Street, Kitty, Georgetown. Discover a solution that not only lights up your world but transforms it. Call us on telephone number 226-3018 or 223-1634. SNL Electrical Inc. powering your life with elegance, quality, and care.
Crispy, creamy, what a catch. So tasty. What a catch. With a caramel center. What a catch. And so much chocolate. Ooh, yeah. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. With so much chocolate, smooth and milky. And when you go a little deeper, it's like caramel. Ooh, yeah. Oh. What a catch. You know we love you. What a catch. Oh. First it's crispy, then it's creamy. What a catch. It's time!
Visit Giftland, Office Max for all your Christmas needs. From stylish decor to fun games, toys, and household essentials, Giftland has it all this Christmas. Can't find something? Our friendly staff is always ready to assist you. Enjoy great deals and amazing savings this Christmas. Not a VIP customer? No problem. Just ask our cashiers about becoming a member. Giftland, Office Max, your reason for shopping this season.
Welcome back to the HGP Nightly News. Our developing story now. Leader of the We Invested Nationhood Party, Azruddin Mohammed, has declared that the deadline has passed for the Speaker of the National Assembly, Manzoor Nadir, to convene a meeting to elect a leader of the opposition. And as such, his party is prepared to move to the courts. We have the details. Azruddin Mohammed told reporters on Wednesday that the ultimatum issued to the Speaker of the National Assembly, calling for him to set a date for opposition members of parliament to meet and elect a leader of the opposition, has run out. As a result, legal proceedings against the speaker will now begin.
It is on the table. I think earlier this week, my counsel, he said he wants us to move to the court. So it looked like we will have to move to the court.
As early as this week?
As early as this week.
According to W.I.N, the Speaker has failed or refused to carry out a clear constitutional responsibility. The party argues that Article 184(1) of the Constitution places a legal duty on the Speaker to convene that meeting, and his ongoing inaction violates the rights of the electorate and the parliamentary opposition.
We have all these parliamentary committees held hostage presently. The budget is coming up. The budget is coming up. What will happen? You need an opposition leader there. How will we move forward?
Mohammed contends that the People's Progressive Party civic government, through the Speaker, is intentionally dragging its feet, leaving the country without an opposition leader weeks after Parliament first convened. He argues that this delay undermines democratic accountability.
The purpose of an opposition is to hold the government accountable. Any government, anywhere in the world, to hold the government accountable. What we have in Guyana presently is a dictatorship government.
W.I.N recalls that on November 3, 2025, the first sitting of the 13th Parliament, its MPs immediately delivered a letter requesting that the election of the opposition leader be held that same day. The party maintains that all opposition MPs were present at the Arthur Chung Conference Center and available to participate, meaning nothing prevented the Speaker from proceeding.
They're given a budget of $30-something million, a pittance. Can you believe the office of the First Lady get a bigger budget than the opposition leader? The office of the First Lady gets a bigger budget, gets more money than the leader of the opposition.
In recent days, the People's National Congress Reform, the Alliance for Change, and Forward Guyana have all backed calls for the meeting to be convened urgently, saying the current delay constitutes a breach of constitutional duty. Travis Chase, HGP Nightly News. As the Le Penitence market is set to undergo significant changes, vendors will be displaced to a temporary location to facilitate remedial works. Antonio Day is on this story.
The Mayor and City Council
finally met with E&A Consultancy on Tuesday to finalize plans for the long-awaited rehabilitation works of the Lepentins Market. This project, a partnership between the Council and the Government of Guyana, aims to modernize one of the capital's busiest commercial areas while ensuring vendors do not occupy the streets. This was related by Chief Citizen Alfred Mentor.
This is an old rickety market that needs financial investment. This is an old rickety market that has really and truly outlived its usefulness over the years, and we really and truly need to put significant investment in this market.
Mayor Mentor supported the proposal, stating that the capital city's markets should reflect the new era of growth.
Guyana itself is a booming oil economy, and markets of this nature need the kind of investment, to look like an oil economy.
Mentor noted that vendors will be temporarily displaced into convenient location so that rehabilitation works can commence.
We take it down and we put it back a new market. We know we'll have to put systems in place as to how we adjust and how we can have an arrangement for people here who are displaced in some way, how they could continue to do their business.
City officials are committed to ongoing discussions with vendors and the consulting team throughout the project. They promise to improve conditions and create a safer, more functional commercial space once renovations are finished. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
You will hear now that Minister of Local Government and Regional Development paid a visit to Skull City squatting area located in Potentia on the west bank of Demerara, where regularization topped discussions with residents. Marvin Cato reports.
Public assistance is guided by law. A lot of people don't know that. It's actually statutorily based. That means it's in the statutes, the law books.
That was Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Priyamani Chen taking the time to explain to a resident of Skull City how public assistance works. In her public engagement in the area, the minister took time to see how best she could assist residents. Residents capitalized on the opportunity to share their daily plight with the minister.
Me live and start in the land here, right? Mm-hmm. And I build my house, but me live half me single parent. Mm-hmm. So me glad if me can get a little help from done audio.
Right. So housing has some assistance that can be offered. What we'll do is take your name and put you onto them. But we'll get back on to you.
She took the time to explain to residents what her ministry is responsible for and what they intend to do in the community as the regularization process by the Ministry of Housing continues in the community. Thus far, 33 residents have received their allocations, and additional allocations are expected to be processed soon.
A cadastral plan will draw out who is living where. Once that is done, we can fix this.
Manichan pointed out to residents that in the regularization process, roads will be mapped out properly in order to bring more comfort to residents.
Squatting areas, you don't put electricity, water, and so on. Now that we're regularizing the area, we can put in all the facilities.
She reminded that her ministry will continue to work closely with the community to bring it up to standard and to make the lives of every resident better. Marvin Cato reporting for HGP Nightly News.
Thank you, Marvin. Stay with us. There is more news ahead.
Planning a cleanup? We can help. VENEZUELA-US waste management skip bins can be provided for home renovation projects, yard cleanup, or construction project. It's simple. Step 1, give us a call. Step 2, we put down the bin. Step 3, load it up with all of your junk. Step 4, we take it away. That's simple. Bins are also available in various sizes, so there is no job that is too big or too small. Call VENEZUELA-US Waste Management today at 218-1455.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, and we're celebrating with big savings on smartphones, starting as low as $16,500 for the Samsung A06 and $26,500 for the Samsung A16 and $40,500 for the A26. But wait, there's more. Get 1 month free data with your new phone to keep you close to loved ones near and far. Offer available while stocks last. Visit a Digicel store today and unwrap the gift of real connections. Digicel.
I'm sorry, I couldn't take any more of your gaslighting. Just go. I got burned too many times. I went to Quartz and found myself a new flame.
Say goodbye to your old appliances and hello to new ones from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Thanks for staying with us here in the HGP Nightly News. We tell you now that Guyana's push for stronger human rights, transparency, and accountability took center stage on Tuesday as key stakeholders challenged government institutions to do more. Tiana Cole reports.
During the Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance 4th Annual Human Rights and Anti-Corruption Expo and Panel Discussion, held under the theme Our Everyday Essentials, Rights and Integrity, United Nations Development Programme Guyana Resident Representative Cathy Thompson underscored the critical role of transparent, accountable, and people-centered governance. In our presentation, Thompson emphasized that human rights depend heavily on an open system where citizens can access information, make informed choices, and rely on strong accountability mechanisms.
This includes ensuring that all groups are able to have access to information, they can make informed choices for themselves, and work in a system of accountabilities.
Following our remarks, Starbuck News Editor-in-Chief Anand Prasad noted Thompson's emphasis on access to information legislation. He pointed out that sections of civil society have spent months pushing for improvements that would give citizens better access to information needed to fight corruption.
And members of the public, members of the media, and sections of society are expecting some positive response from some part of the government to this, as the Commissioner of Information has just not performed, and we've been forced to take other steps going to approaching the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights. Those things should not have to be done. They should be addressed within country. Responding
to Prasad's concerns, Senior Minister with Responsibility for Finance, Dr. Ashni Singh, defended Commissioner of Information, saying openness, transparency, accountability, and access to information should not be viewed as belonging to a single office.
If one were to examine the vast array of information that has been put in the public domain through multiple complementary channels, one would see, in fact, that all of these complementary avenues through which information has been put in the public domain have served to make this People's Progressive Party civic government, led by President Irfan Ali, to be the most transparent.
Minister Singh further argued that civil society should not be confused with what he described as political activists pretending to operate under that label.
So what we have in Guyana today, and we've had it for a very long time, is some closet politicians who parade as civil society.
Earlier this year, several picketing exercises were held by civil society members who cited the non-functioning of the Office of the Commissioner of Information, held by retired Justice Charles Ramson. A clarion call was made for the President to hold the Commissioner accountable, while also pushing for legislative reform to decentralize the access to information process. Tiana Cole reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Now that it has signed the production sharing agreement for the S7 shallow block in Stabroek, Cybele Energy says it will be working with local stakeholders to advance STEM, as well as women and youth empowerment in the job market. Here is more.
We may make history today by me signing the PSA, but I must not be the last. We want to run an organization that supports initiatives that will be brought up by the next generation.
Cybele's Chief Executive Officer, Beatrice Mensah-Toyoui, on Tuesday during the Ghanaian company's signing of the production sharing agreement for the S7 shallow block in the Stabroek block. The oil company's CEO said that her company's vision and operations here is hoping that the Guyanese society can allow more women to assume key leadership positions to break the barriers of misogyny.
A local Guyanese woman can be a country manager. A local Guyanese woman can be a drilling and exploration manager. A local Guyanese woman can be a lead well engineer. And I promise you, with all hands on deck, there is no way we don't accomplish that.
Mensa to You also announced a strategic initiative to enhance the company's operations by conducting in-depth desk reviews and targeted studies.
But for now, typically we have a PSA, Petroleum Sharing Agreement, which actually speaks to those activities. And definitely the typical norm in industry would be to start with geology and geophysics. So once that team puts together a work plan, then obviously that work plan is always shared.
The company is also eager to work with the local community and stakeholders to aid in the advancement of STEM programs.
Will also help to build capacity. Cybel will participate to make sure that STEM programs are put in place.
When asked about plans for 3D seismic studies and costs, she mentioned that the government would hire a seismic research company for all exploration firms. Mensa to You stated that Cybel will no longer collaborate with Liberty Petroleum from the United States due to new opportunities in Somalia. Instead, the company will work with Elemental Energies from Norway, which has a stronger reputation for working with major firms like Total. Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Stay tuned for regional news.
Vival Supermarket appreciates you, and our 17th Customer Appreciation Day sale is set for December 2nd, 2025, from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Shop at Survival and get a 10% discount throughout the supermarket, except alcohol and tobacco products. Yes, it's in time for the holiday season, with a big 10% discount from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. at Survival. The Customer Appreciation Day sale, December 2nd, Survival Supermarket, Sheriff Street and Placenton Road.
This Christmas runs on real connections with Digicel. The calls, the laughter, the joy, and the chance to pick and win big. We're giving away $12 million. Yes, every week, one lucky Digicel customer gets a chance to win up to $2 million. 6 lucky winners in total. Here's how you get in. Top up with $1,000 or more, or pay your fiber or postpaid bill in full. The more you top up, the more chances you get. Stay connected this Christmas for your chance to win big. Digicel.
Say hello to your new favorite sip, Fruta Mango Passion. This tropical combo of mango and passion fruit delivers a bold flavor and wholesome goodness. It's fruity, it's vibrant, and it fits right into your day. Grab your Mango Passion can today and live fruitfully. Fruta.
Good evening and welcome to Thursday's edition of the Regional News. I am Antonio Day. The Maritime Administration, known as MARAD, has noted the increasing unauthorized use of the Guyana flag by vessels not registered in the country. The U.S. government reported encountering the motor tanker skipper, formerly known as DESIR, in international waters, which was falsely flying the Guyana flag. MARAD plans to collaborate with international partners to address this issue. U.S. President Donald Trump referred to the skipper as the largest crude tanker seized by American authorities, while the Venezuelan government condemned the seizure as piracy. Venezuela's administration accused the Trump administration of attempting to seize their oil and called for national unity against this aggression, urging the international community to reject such actions. Turning attention to news in Trinidad and Tobago. Parliament has approved legislation regulating the use of fireworks in Trinidad and Tobago amid the security risks posed by these products. Legislators agree that there are not toys, but explosive devices which could create great damage and injury. Attorney General John Jeremy, who piloted the Summary Offences Amendment Bill of 2025, also known as the Fireworks Regulation Bill, said that this legislation is to amend and regulate the use of fireworks, which have become a part of celebrations in Trinidad and Tobago, but could also be a nuisance and pose threats to life and limbs. What once a source of celebration has become over the years a serious public safety concern. Vulnerable citizens, including children, the elderly and those with medical conditions, suffer from the excessive noise and destruction. Animals too are affected. Homes and businesses are at risk of catching fire if fireworks land on them. And finally, with some international news. President Donald Trump on Wednesday officially launched his Gold Card visa, a new immigration pathway that allows foreigners to pay $1 million to expedite their visa application, or have companies pay $2 million to sponsor a foreign worker they want to bring into the United States. Quoting, "Very excitingly for me and for the country, we have just launched the Trump Gold Card," the president said at a White House roundtable event. The visa website trumpcard.gov, launched on Wednesday afternoon, includes a link to the official application, promising U.S. residency in record time. That has brought us to the end of Thursday's edition of the Regional News. I'm Antonio Day. Thank you for watching and listening. Do have a great evening and be gentle to yourself.
Delvin Neblett is up next with HGP's Sports Pulse.
Good evening, Guyana. I'm Delwin Neblett with your HGP TV Sports Pulse for today, Thursday, December 11, 2025. We begin tonight with football. The Petro organization hosted the commissioning ceremony for the brand new KFC Pavilion at the Ministry of Education ground on Wednesday. In the presence of parents, athletes, students, and community members, Petro officials emphasized that the space has been built not only to elevate the atmosphere of the facility, but also to enhance comfort and celebrate the advancement of youth football in Guyana. More in football action kicked off in the 2025 President's W.I.N Guyana Futsal Championship with knockout fixtures at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall on Wednesday. All Boys Town Ballers secured a crushing 10-1 victory over Showstoppers on the back of a masterful 5 goals from Joel Magrell, as Randy Maynard also scored a dazzling hat-trick in a winning effort. Footsteppers earned a hard-fought 5-3 victory over Real Sport as Anthony Roberts produced a superb hat-trick. The main court also netted a brilliant hat-trick as Agricola Ballers secured a 4-2 victory over Mocha Red Force. Beavers registered a commanding 4-1 victory over Gaza Squad, and Brandon LaRose netted both goals for Canaimas in a keenly contested 2-1 victory over Paradise Invaders. Tournament action resumed today at the Cliff Anderson Sports Hall, featuring the men's knockout stage alongside the schoolboys round-robin segment. Still in football, knockout action commenced in the 2025 Ghana Football Federation Division I Women's Championship with 2 fixtures at the National Training Center in Providence on Wednesday. In the first match, Santos FC secured a commanding 5-0 victory over Rivers U United FC, while match number 2 was another commanding victory for the Ghana Police Force FC over the Mainstay Gold Stars. Moving into golf, in keeping with the spirit of the holiday season, renowned Guyanese athlete Carlos Adams has made a generous donation of 3 complete golf club sets, each including bags, putters, and gloves to the Lusignan Golf Club. Adams, celebrated for his accomplishments across multiple sports, said the donation stems from gratitude and his desire to give back to a sport he loves. He noted that the equipment will help the club generate revenue through rentals and provide essential support for visitors and newcomers who lack their own gear. Adams has enjoyed an impressive athletic career with major achievements in tennis and golf, including victories at the 2014 Malcorp Open and strong international finishes at the 2024 and 2025 Suriname Opens. His gift comes at an important time for the Lusignan Golf Club, which is working to expand access to golf in Guyana. Club officials expressed deep appreciation, highlighting that the new equipment will aid training, boost participation, and improve the overall player experience. Finally, in cricket, that's it for this edition of the HGP TV Sports Pulse. I'm Delwin Neblett, reminding you to stay in the game.
Oil tanker illegally flying Guyana's flag seized by U.S. authorities. WALTON-DESIR urges sober leadership amid rising Venezuela-US tensions. Despite EU report, Private Sector Commission says it found no evidence of abuse of state resources in 2025 elections. WIN ready to take Speaker to the National Assembly to court over delay in election of opposition leader. And in sport, brand new KFC-sponsored pavilion at the Ministry of Education ground commissioned. Those are our major headlines. For these stories and more, please go to our website. It's www.hgptv.com. I'm Travis Chase. Thanks for watching.